Alright, in today's video I'm going to go over installing the Martin Marine board and ladder on a classic Montauk. One of the things I really do like about the Martin Marine board and ladder is the fact that it's custom made for these classic Montauks. As a matter of fact, he has different variations that are made for various classic Boston Whaler boats, and it pays to examine this page because you'll be surprised. Ray Martin pretty much hand makes all of these. I think he is one of the premier marine fabricators that you'll find in at least on the East Coast, if not the entire country. I recommend him. A lot of folks that swear by Boston Whalers go straight to him for railing and a bunch of different things. Anyway, let's get on with the video, and before we do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll get notifications when we put up videos in the future. Alright, so one thing I wanted to point out is that Martin Marine does a really good job of packing. It's stapled in place. Everything is securely fastened. You literally have to cut it loose, and that's fine because that way nothing's going to get damaged in shipping unless it really gets muscled out of the way. So great job in packing. If you can see here, the workmanship and quality of Martin Marine is just spectacular. Let me make sure I can get this out. So he does give you complete instructions on how to do it, how to get this mounted. And one of the interesting things is Ray actually will include his shop phone number and his cell phone number in here. If you have any problems, you can call him. He'll walk you through it. Great guy. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this ready for mounting, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so according to the instructions, the way to get this lined up, there's two things you got to do. One of them, this top bracket here, has to be lined up with the edge of the transom, and then the bottom bracket, this one, should be lined up right next to this angle here. And this is not a one-person job. So this is ultimately where it's gonna sit. So for right now, we're gonna get something to brace it up there, and we're gonna mark off the first hole that is going to be used, which actually I already did, but just bear with me and you'll see what we're gonna do. All right, so having a workbench or a table that at least comes close to the height is gonna be really helpful. Barring that, another set of hands, like having a son or a good neighbor, would be very helpful. So what I've done is I've got this blocked up on this table. I've got it lifted up a little bit, and I've got this shim, if you will, basically a 2x4 that was cut at an angle. And I'm just gonna get this in here. I know you can't see this, but I'm gonna get this in here enough to get it to the right height, which is right there. So I've got that in there enough to basically make it flush with the top of the transom. And what I need to do, I think, alright, so what I'm going to end up doing, I've got that marked. We're going to drill that out and put a bolt through it to hold it temporarily while we get the rest of this all straightened out. Alright, so I've got this marked where I'm going to drill. I almost hate doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and drill. It's just the one for right now, and I'll explain why. Because once we get that one drilled, we're going to temporarily mount it and make sure it's flush with the water line. It should be if you follow the directions, but there's enough, I think, variation or room for error. So I'm just going to go ahead and compare it to the water line. Help me move this out of the way, guys. The reason I'm moving it out of the way is I want to make sure that when I drill this hole that it's perpendicular and straight through. So this is 1/4 inch. Now one thing, if you put a piece of tape on the inside, it's going to help prevent splintering of the gel coat. All right. So one of the things is we already have a water line. This used to be bottom painted, and I actually did an epoxy barrier coat after taking all the bottom paint off. So what I'm going to do is measure how far off the water line the steps are. And once I get the measurement on this side, I'll adjust this side until it's the right correct measurement, and that should give me a surface that's level with the water. So hopefully, I'm not going to screw this up. So somehow or another I managed to make that about a 1/4 inch too low, and that's fine. We're just going to go with that. But what I am going to do is measure that to the water line. The top of the mountain plate is almost 3 exactly. That's what it looks like. What we got. All right, so I'm going to get it to the right height, and I want you to mark the outside, or the inside hole is fine actually. This is perfect right now. I'm going to drill that one. And then we're going to temporarily mount it so we can mark the drill the other holes. You want me to bolt it in?
It would probably help.
Yeah. Alright, so what I've done is just temporarily mount it with those 2 bolts. I want to get these holes marked so we can drill them out, get those done. The bottom mounts are actually going to be done with screws, and I'll tell you what drill bit we use on those, but for the time being we want to get these accurately marked, drilled, and temporarily mounted so we can do the bottom. Now I'm going to do is temporarily mount everything, then we're going to go back, loosen it up, and we're going to put marine grade sealant on it. Martin Marine calls for 5200 3M. If I can get it, I'll use that. If not, I'll use the Loctite PL Marine, which is easy to get. Alright, so let me go ahead and mark these. Now, these shims do not allow a pen to get in there, so I'm going to try my best to get this marked with a drill bit. I don't have anything skinny enough with ink on it. All right, I think I've got some semblance of a mark there. We'll do the other side. All right, I'm going to take the ladder off and get the drilling.
Why don't I just move it?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm just gonna fit it over here for you.
All right, so let's get those holes drilled out. I'm gonna do this one. That one marked out pretty well. So that little drill bit just gave me enough of a start, the one I hand drilled with, so that's perfect. So this is the important part. There is a screw with a bent head. That's intentional. This one goes on the top on the outside. You see it's got a bent head. So we're going to get that one in there. And I believe it's to accommodate the contours of the boat. We need to get this table out of the way.
Is it in the way?
Yeah.
Alright.
You grab one side. I'll grab the other. Alright, so bottom holes are marked. We got to use 5/32 bits on those. Everywhere there's a hole marked. Beautiful thing is I'm getting some nice dry wood here, which makes me really, really happy. This has foam behind it, which is probably why he calls for 5200, but it's more of a glue than anything. Alright, we're going to go get the sealant and do it once and for all. Just get it all buttoned down and sealed up, because I don't want to take it apart, put it back together too many times. I got some sealant, so I'm going to start off with getting some sealant on the inside. So in theory, these should be sealed. I'm not going to put any on the, well, I'll put a little bit on the outside. It's not going to hurt. Although it is already sealed on the inside. These are going to be interesting because we'll add this at the last minute. And even though there's plenty left over in this tube, it's going to probably be brick hard in a day. So whatever you don't use, just plan on throwing it away.
You want some assistance?
Yeah.
Smell like BO and bug spray.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit here and hold it. Can I add a comment here real quick?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we should not tighten these down completely all the way, so we have a little bit of wiggle room on the bottom,
Probably not a bad idea.
instead of like just tightening it up all the way. But I don't know,
No, I like that.
because we have to put that shim in there too.
Yeah, that's in the hole.
Okay.
As is that one.
Okay.
Let me get that.
What you need? What you need? This?
This is in wood, so I can do that. This is just glass.
Yeah.
So I'm putting in a really light clutch. Well, maybe not. Now I want to make sure there's no gaps, which I see some, and probably because of the curvature of the hull. So I'm gonna fill whatever looks like there's a gap, and we're gonna wipe the excess off, so we're not gonna have big gloppy mess here. And the reason for that is I don't want to leave any gaps that'll have standing water in it. I think that would be a really bad thing. Alright, so now for the fun part. Let's get goop everywhere. All over ourselves, but off the boat. I got some 91% alcohol. Denatured alcohol works, acetone works. Although I've kind of stopped using acetone a lot because it's so damn harsh. I really like denatured alcohol for stuff like this, but the 91% works good too. That's right. All right, so thankfully we're finished. It's just really nasty hot. We had I guess a fake fall where it got cool. Now we got the second summer of North Carolina. We actually have 16 seasons. They say 12, but it blows hot and cold here all the time. Anyway, let me tell you what we did. So the top holes are drilled out at 1/4 inch. They're through bolted through the back. The bottom holes were drilled at 5/32. Then the stanchions, if you want to call them that, were screwed in with the screws that were provided. Everything was sealed with the Loctite PL Marine. Anyway, just a few points on this. The boarding ladder that he uses is extremely high quality. I don't think you can get much better than this. I like the fact that Ray gives you personalized instructions. He includes his shop phone number, his cell phone number, so if you should need assistance and you have any questions in installing it, he makes himself available for that, which I think is pretty worthwhile to give him a shot. No, this was not free. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm doing this because I really like his products, and he's been helpful every time I've given him a call for information. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you have, hit share and like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.